Shalom Aleichem to the entire Midrash Torah family. I'm so excited to be talking to you right before Purim, and you got to do it quick because, Purim needs a lot of time to prepare for. So I'll give you a quick Dvar Torah. In the laws of Choshen Mishpat, not Tilchot Purim, the laws of Choshen Mishpat, we have the rules of paying damages. Someone who, whether it was on purpose or not on purpose, smacks someone and causes damage, whether it's pain, whether it's actual physical damage, whether to him or to something that he owns, needs to pay. The person who caused the damage needs to pay the person who the damage was done to. And this is very, very important. If we don't have such a rule, oy va'avoy, big problem. Because let's say I smack someone, and I act recklessly, I won't be afraid to do that if there's no punishment, or if there's nothing that is asked of me after I do it. Maybe it actually feels pretty good. Wouldn't necessarily go that far, but it's also important to say to the person who was damaged, it's very important for that person to be able to look at the person who did the damage to them in the eye. If there is no restitution given, if there is no repair that is done, then the person who was damaged will just be angry all the time at the person who damaged them, whether it was on purpose or not. Once there was damage, there's a lack. And the Torah is saying it's very important that we fill that lack so that they can continue to live together. But on Purim, there's something very, very special. On Purim, we all have a mitzvah. We have an obligation to be happy. So we do all these things to make us happy. We have an amazing Suda. We do Mishlach Manot. But why do we do that? We do that so that we can be together. We do that so that we can ensure that I'm not just enjoying a holiday. I'm not just enjoying my relationship with Hashem alone. That I'm enjoying it with others. But there's a problem with enjoying with others. Because when you do things with other people, you're taking a risk. What is that risk? The risk is that something might go wrong. I heard an amazing conversation. I thought it was so funny, but it's so true. An amazing conversation between two girls in the midrasha. One was saying, oh my gosh, your roommate is your best friend? It's dangerous. I would never do that. I would want to keep my roommate in a different apartment so that we don't get into fights all the time. The other person said, well, no, I want to be with my best friend. And I understood both sides. Because on the one hand, I want to be with people who make me happy. But on the other hand, if I'm with them, then something might go wrong and I might be angry with them. And I'm afraid. So the same thing goes for Purim. I would think that, we're supposed to be happy together. We're supposed to give Mishloach Manot so that we rejoice together. But that's dangerous. Because I know that my neighbor maybe gets a little too rowdy on Purim. Or maybe my neighbor doesn't really make the best food, so I don't really want to eat with them. Or maybe we're just afraid to take the risk of something going wrong. So we play it safe and say, oh no, I'm going to have Purim Suda alone. Or I don't really give out Mishloach Manot. I understand not wanting to take a risk. But this is why we have a very important halacha when it comes to Purim. On Purim, unlike the day-to-day, if someone damages another person because they were happy, because they were trying to share the joy of Purim, Shulchan Aruch says, the Rama in Shulchan Aruch says, in such a situation, they would be exempt from paying damages. I looked at this and I said, what are you talking about? How are you allowing someone to get away with damages that they did? But then I looked at what Harav Rimon said on these very halachas. He says, listen, on the one hand, it's important for us to be forgiving in general. So maybe on Purim, when we go into someone's house for Suda, we know that they're very possibly going to be a little rowdy, and that's okay. I forgive them ahead of time. But he also says that in order for us to be able to be happy, Chazal we're smart enough to know that we have to let this happen. We have to allow people to make mistakes. Because if we don't allow people to make mistakes, then they might not take the risk of getting together at all. And this is something Chazal didn't want to see. And I think that this is a very deep message for us. In order to do something amazing, to do something great, we have to take risks sometimes. And some of that means that I might not get what I rightfully deserve. But in order to allow happiness, in order to allow togetherness, I'm not only willing to go in there willingly and say, I'm okay with being hurt, but I forgive you ahead of time because I want us to be able to grow an amazing relationship. And this is the essence of Purim. Purim Sameach.